live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. I'm so late. By the way, this light is orange, so it makes my teeth look orange. That's not present. Sorry for that. But how are you? I'm so sorry I came late. I hope that you guys are still awake. I woke up at like first of all, I fell asleep on the couch, so I woke up at the weird time, which was like 5 or 6 in the morning. I'm like, yay! I woke up, and then I went to see how my husband was doing. He was sleeping. I checked in with him, and then I remember feeling him warm. His hand is so warm. I'm like, yay! And then I fell asleep, woke up the next moment, and it was like noon. So here I am. I had to read a lot of articles in the newspaper too. So here it is. Oh, hello. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, hi, y'all. Oh, hi. Oh, the new Pope. Congratulations to Catholics. Yes, that's American. That's a new Pope from America. That is amazing. I really like the the costume. I don't know why it's called. I've seen that term, but it was so difficult to remember. But it's beautiful and it's great. Did you guys see the reaction from his brother? It was on BBC, and he was tried to recreate the moment of when his brother was chosen for the new pope, and it was it was interesting, like wholesome kind of thing. It was great. But yeah, okay. How are you? Only one person commenting. Please comment so that I know what to talk about. What should I talk about? So I wanted to talk about like negotiation, Hey Yoko, hello. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm so sorry for being late. Yeah, oh, by the way, I got a new earphone. It was so expensive because of the prices are up now, so like it got so much more expensive. Like, wow, another late now, I know. And next week I'm not sure if I can come online, like come do this live, because I will be somewhere, and hopefully I can still do, but I might not be able to make it, so feel free to give me super chat early on. Okay. Sounds good. So this is about Putin justifying the invasion. And here it says that I know that it's mirrored, but still, it talks about Xi Jinping joined, and by that, Putin is showing that he's not isolated. And it's interesting that, what was the number? Was it in the editorial? I wonder where I saw the number. No, I think it's here though. Like, in the past, there were a few, I'm pretty sure I saw the number. And I don't know why I don't see them now. There were a few, like the first year of the invasion, there were no, here it is. Another article here. How Japanese newspaper articles are structured is that front page, there's this massive appealing article, and then often it's like this goes on to the second page or fourth page or something like that. And it continues, like there was one article earlier, and then now there's another article. So you see the picture of Putin and Xi Jinping. And there's Macron too, but this is international page, and there was 2022 Russia on this parade day, May 9th, I believe. Yeah, 2022. No country, no leaders from other countries were invited to the parade. 2023, the next year, 7 countries. 2024, the following year, 9 countries. And this year, 2025, over 20 leaders from over 20 countries came, join this parade. Like, I know that your backgrounds are somewhat different, but coming from Japan, just imagine, like, for example, let's say you're American, and let's say that Mexicans, for example, are crossing borders illegally, let's say that. And also they are illegally living in your land, right? Like, you want to kick them out, you want to do something about it, right? As for Japan, Russians are illegally occupying our territories. Like, not only that they illegally live here, crossing the border, they rather change the border, like, for them, like, it's not legally, confirmed. Of course, we will never allow that, but they invaded here, changed the border for them, and then illegally living here. So they are our enemy, right? So their enemies' friends got together, coming from BRICS and global South nations. Also, North Korean, not soldiers, but North Korean officials and so on were there also. But what's interesting about this is that this is probably the Trump effect. He is working so hard to make a ceasefire happen, and even though it's not going ideally as he plans, still it's pointing out, that there was like this the new type of missile, long range missile, but it's like middle range missile called Ole Shunik. Ole Shunik. But it was not shown at the parade, and also Putin didn't show, like, he didn't threaten with nuclear weapons like he used to before. So, like, there are changes, in his in Putin's attitude and what he claims and so on. So that's great. Hi, Yoko and everybody. Hello, thanks for coming. Prices have gone up a lot. Yeah, I mean, yen is weak, so yeah. So before, for example, this earphone, I got it because the hotel guy, like, threw it away, not noticing my earphone on the bed. Oh, I didn't tweet that. Let's see. Wait for me. I'll ask ChatGPT. Or, I don't know, I guess I could Google it. Let's see. 2,700 yen. Oh. So 2,000 yen to US dollar. That's like $18. That's so true. Because, like, I'm so silly, so stupid. So it used to be like, $20 US dollars, but now yen is weak, so I have to pay more. So yeah, of course the don't change. So stupid. Your two islands, just like with they were doing with the Crimean Ukraine. Yeah, like what Russia did back in the day for Japan is that, like, when the World War II was ending, we had a neutrality pact, like we couldn't attack each other, like we were, our relations were neutral, but they unilaterally dropped that and began to invade to Japan. Also assaulting a lot of people that who were escaping from or fleeing from Manchuria and so on too. Such vicious people. And yeah, and I asked my Ukrainian friend about, what Ukrainian people were feeling, because they were part of Soviet Union, right? But it's like, it's not that they're willingly there, like even like it's just a Soviet Union or like Russia in general. That continent has a lot of history of like being occupied or like being ruled under the bigger power and so on, and you're just part of it. And even if you don't like it, you just have to be there. You have to be there. You can't do much and so on. But anyway, Pope. Oh, this newspaper is actually from Saturday, but new Pope, division, bridge for division, and there's a picture. And so a lot of coverage. Japanese people really, really like, you know, some people on X were wondering, like, you know, I thought that Japanese people were Buddhists and so on. You know, there were people that who said stuff like that. But the thing about Japanese people is that we just accept. You know, we are culturally tolerant, so we just believe and accept everything. Of course, like among which we believe in, you know, like casually believe in. There are a lot of contradiction and so on sometimes, but we don't think about that. You know, like we are okay with that. You know, like we want to learn or we want to see and enjoy different religious or cultural values to, I don't know, to deepen our understanding and to just to simply appreciate, you know, other cultures, because we are an isolated island people. So we like to see other cultures and so on. So it's not only like about the Pope, but also like, you know, for example, the royal family of the UK. We love seeing, you know, the royal family ceremonies and so on. It's often broadcasted here in Japan, and yeah, so stuff like that. So it's Leo 14th. I'm not familiar with Christianity though, or Catholicism, so I don't have much to say. But the thing about that though is that, remember the Trump's picture, AI picture of him pretending to be the Pope, and some people loved it, other people were furious about it. But I think that like there was somebody that pointing out too in the newspaper too, but this is exactly what I thought too, because some people, like we don't, you know, like you and I, like we don't think that way, but there are people like those who are seeing or viewing Trump negatively, like they feel Trump is a threat, right? But today we have the American Pope, right? So he's American, but the new Pope is American, but he's powerful, right? Really, really powerful, right? And like a symbolic too. So like Trump is there as a political leader, but the Pope is there as a religious leader, and he has a lot of soft power in the world. And even like to non-Christian people, it's, or non-Catholics, he's still powerful, and we respect the Pope, right? So it's like basically kind of balancing Trump with the Pope, you know, for them, for their perspective is that, and that's what I thought, you know, like I felt the political you know, background, especially considering that he was criticizing Trump before he was chosen and so on. But I believe that because he will spread love and so on to side with all people, probably I'm guessing that he will not criticize Trump and so on. Hopefully, because that should be it, because Trump was chosen democratically, you know, with the elections, and Trump is, like it or not, he is the leader of the U.S. who was legally and democratically, in their words, you know, chosen. So yeah, it's the opinion of the U.S. The Americans wanted him. So yeah. Yep. Dollar is way too expensive right now, right? On the top of that, oh, I wanted to show this too, but I should talk about tariff. But before that, like I have a lot of news today. This front page, I know it's mirrored, but it's front page talks about this. Guess what this is? This. It is a railgun, militarily railgun. So it's electromagnetic railgun, right? I looked it up earlier, how to call it in English. Such big words. Electronic, magnetic railgun. Okay. So we are testing that, right? Yeah. That's awesome. That is exciting. So instead of the regular firing, they use electronic electronic magnetic power. I have a vocabulary here. Electromagnetic railgun. Yes. And, oh yeah, so we can counter attack hypersonic weapons. So that's amazing. Yep. Over here, they're talking about America, US, China tariffs. So they're talking about including drugs and so on. And here you see the picture of Modi and I don't know the name of the Pakistan side, Sharif. There was a conflict there, but Trump stopped it. So thank you, America, for doing that. It's great that America's power works like that, because nowadays, like China and Russia will not listen. Hello from Los Angeles. Yay, hello. Thanks for coming. Make the yen gray again. Yeah. Russia also has Germany territory. Really? But Germany doesn't want it anymore because the unification cost it much already. Bah. That's too sad because a country consists of the land and the people and the history and so forth. But yeah, like land or islands, they're like, underrated in the West, I feel. Yeah, but China and Russia, though, they will just not stop. So it's super duper annoying for me. And global South countries too. I understand that they are in between, like they are wondering which side to get on, and they're jumping on the benefits that come in instantly, and they're losing the benefits in the long run. But they don't get it because they just easily get deceived by countries like China and Russia. But yeah. Anyway, so here I wanted to introduce the new guy, Glass. Ambassador Glass is here in Japan. You see the picture? That's there is his name. Oh, but it's backward. His first son, the oldest son of Mr. Glass, lives in Japan. It's been 14 years since the couple moved here in Japan. And so Mr. Glass, the ambassador, has a 7-year-old granddaughter. Probably mixed, right? So that's great. But yeah, so the deal between US and the UK already happened. Like you agreed, right? So that's great. Congratulations. So based on that, Japan is wondering where it's gonna go because it included like British cars. But the thing about it is that British cars in sale in America is like 1%, I think, while like Japan is occupies a lot, so it's not the same as the UK, and we are hoping that we can still we still have options with the US, but at the same time Japan, of course, like America has deficit against Japan, so I don't know what's gonna happen. There was some, where was that? Like reading many articles, I forget which one was listed where and so on. But at least you can enjoy this newspaper ASMR. I don't know how much this microphone is speaking, but on there, you can see the picture, right? Like you see the car here. So that's like if you try to understand with in the picture, that's what it looks like. So the US and UK, the trade is balanced, and they do sell cars, but it's different from Japan because there is a huge deficit against Japan. And hybrid cars are doing well, it seems, for Japan. Oh, but the EU, though, by the way, are afraid that American, like a hormone-treated beef and what was that? Crueline? Like this this chemical, like they use it for chicken, so they don't want to import that sort of stuff from America. Yeah. But if America wants to go for Maha, make America healthy again, then I think that the thing, it should be that America should change the standard, like it would economically, be a downgrade, like it will affect economically probably because like using chemicals and so on, by that you can create products much less expensive, but yeah, but it would be better because people will not rely on medical treatment afterwards. Like there are a lot of money issue, involving food, but it's like, do you want to use your money in investment for making it healthier, or do you want to, pay more for treating what happens as a result and so on. Kishoji? Tom Cruise was just at Ghibli Museum in Kishoji area the other day. Really? He's here? He's so short that he's probably blending in. Yeah. I don't like the light. Wait, is Japan building railguns? Will they sell us some? Hopefully. Isn't America making that though? Let's see. I bet that China is making that. Doesn't say much. Like it's, of course, like we are building this to counter attack the attacks from like China and North Korea. So in order to develop this railgun, Japanese Defense Ministry signed with Germany and France like their defense ministry and like research center and so on. Oh, it's about just research together, like joint research. Yeah. Oh, America stopped developing this. So, but we or they are dispatching people to America to collect the data from America because they stopped developing. So, yeah, but the thing about this is that according to my husband, this technology, the railgun, is the same as, this electronic magnetic railgun is, it's the same technology as, what's the goal? What was that? Linear motor car. It's the same as that. So that technology is very, very important. Like like we are not supposed to, leak the information about that technology because it's the same as this military weapon. But Japanese people, because we haven't been in war for a long time, and together with that fact that we believe in like pacifist constitution, by chanting the constitution, many people believe that our peace will be protected and so on. So people don't really think about economic security. So it's been such a issue for us. But people, politicians like Sanae Takaichi and Koba Hawk, Takayuki Kobayashi, that is, we call him Koba Hawk. People like those, politicians like those are very, very good at economic security. So that's good. But any super chat? I know that I'm late. Like super chat people probably go to sleep earlier. So, but I'd appreciate your super chat because this is brought to you for free. I didn't know Britain still built cars. It seems like it's like a high class, very expensive cars. Yeah. It's interesting that there was this guy in Japan who bought Ferrari. I don't know the pronunciation. Ferrari. He saved up enough to buy it after like a decade. Finally got it, drove it, and in an hour or so it caught on fire. Just gone. And probably because he couldn't go really fast. Like in Japan, we don't have roads that you can go really fast and so on. So electromagnetic. Okay, thank you. Ferrari. Ferrari. Okay, Ferrari. Like the thing about Japanese people like myself is that we don't remember like R and L. We don't have the distinction, so we're always like, which is it? Well, all we have is larirurero. It's in between of R and L. So yeah, a very ridiculous idea, but one I want to throw at you. What if the USA wanted to annex Japan? What if you could be the 51st state? You would have a lot of representation based on your population. There are interesting thing is that there the great grandson of Meiji Emperor, like from the Tenno, our emperor was from like 1800 or so, I think, because that era started in 1868. So like somewhere around there. So we had that time of emperor, and his great grandson said that Japan could be the 51st state of the U.S. And what was that? Basically, I don't think he understands the election system, But he was saying that we have the population of like 1/3 of America, so like we would be democratically powerful and so on. Even though like Japan, if Japan becomes one state, then that's just one state, and the representatives will be limited, right? But there were some discussions like that, like casually, like jokingly, though. But it's that would never ever happen because we have Japan has been Japan because we have our Tenno, which you call emperor, and that's what defines Japan. So if we become one state of the US, then that means that that system is gone. And that will no longer be Japan, of course, and it doesn't work like that, so yeah. Yeah, not a republic. Yep. Anything. Oh man, I'm not gonna make money tonight, it seems. I came in too late. What else? Any valuable information to share with you? Internet is a interesting space that, like, I give information, but it's not really information that people want. Rather, entertainment and validation and so on. So, but yeah, Japan, U.S. Negotiation about tariffs. Trump is considering like a jet engine, like airplanes and so on too. And it's such a like a wide, like broad discussion, so much so that I can't keep up with that. I wish I knew economy better. But this guy, Motegi, powerful, very powerful politician, LDP politician in Japan. But he is showing an example, he says the important thing is for Japan is to figure out where Trump's mind is really at. The first administration, when Motegi, this guy, was involved in the negotiations, he was thinking about how to echo to the mind of Trump, how to suggest to Trump. And American side at the time actually liked it when, Japanese side, including him, brought up the suggestion that, for example, to use the cones to as like a biofuel. Is that a word? Like a bio thing to fuel as fuel, and the cones of swing states. So super chat. Thank you so much. Yes, too late. It is already Sunday. I know. Thank you so much for your super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Yes. Without super chat, I can't survive. So, I mean, this channel wouldn't survive. So, but anyway, yeah, things like this, to use American products and turn it into technology and so on. I mean, use it technologically and so on. Yeah. What's happening on your end, though? What's a hot news? What are you guys talking about? Ukraine. I don't know what to talk about. Give me a topic. Biofuel. Okay, so that's the right term. Yeah, ethanol, and it's bad for engines. Yeah, that's it. They did mention ethanol. I guess it's not for cars though. It's for factories and so on. We are baffled by India and Pakistan. They're like, I wish they could be together, but their religions are different, right? Like India being Hindu and Pakistan being Islam. Like I've seen a movie about Gandhi, and Gandhi movie. I don't know which year that was from, like an old movie, which was kind of long. But I watched that, and in the end, I saw like people like departing in different ways. You know, Indian, like Hindu people, and Islam, like going to the opposite way, like a goodbye. You know, like they're like supposed to be like brothers, but man, the border. But my perspective though is always I'm distracted by the fact that India, I kind of get it, but Pakistan has nuclear weapons and my country doesn't. So I'm like, every time I'm like Pakistan, or you know, these nuclear powers conflict against each other, that's dangerous. I'm like, my country doesn't have nuclear power. I mean, nuclear weapons. And I'm like, why? Like, international society is an interesting place. I like listening to your perspective. If I could send super chat, I would. I'm trying to figure out something. Really? I hope you figure that out. Japan has smart people who have made a country that has high trust society. Yeah. High trust society is something that I learned from people online that I didn't really think about that aspect, like a high trust aspect, because we take it for granted. Yeah. I mean, the population, you know, the majority are Japanese people. So, but recently, though, there have been crimes committed by, uh, you know, foreigners living here. So there are a lot of like pushbacks. Like people don't want that sort of crimes. You know, like we are the kind of people, Japanese people are the kind of people who work to death. Like, it's no joke. Like, we work to death. We are so serious and we are strict with rules and so on, you know. It's not really, some people do care about race, but fundamentally it's about sticking to rules and values, you know, to protect our traditions, because traditions are there because it works for our society, you know, and so on. So like if they don't have respect for that, that is not welcome. But some foreigners really adjust well though, like you don't even notice them, so that's cool. I really like that sort of foreigners. But yeah, it was such a sad case recently that this, I believe the woman was from Brazil. I could be wrong, like this beautiful lady from another country, and she was she like a PhD, like a doctor level, like a very, sorry I don't remember the details, but there was this beautiful lady, young, very sophisticated, kind of like intelligent type of woman, and she was murdered by somebody from Bangladesh or somewhere, I think, if I remember correctly. And that guy was not that type, you know, like a high, like highly educated people, like none of that, and but killed by that low level person in Japan. The lady, the day before she was murdered by that guy, she had posted that she wants to, move to Japan, like live in Japan and so on. I don't know if she was tourist. Sorry, I should know better, but I'm sure you can find the news. But yeah. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We want the best for both of our countries. We have to stick together as countries. Nationalism should be on the rise again. I want Trump to visit Yasukuni Shrine this time as an American. That would be cool. That'd be cool. I mean, even Bush wanted to, or like he was okay to visit Yasukuni Shrine, but our foreign ministry didn't allow it because Japan has been always like, watching what China says. So I'm like, oh, it's so silly that we shouldn't have, what's the word? Like deepen the ties with China, communist China, But I guess that Japan was desperate to prosper too, and it's like China is like a drug. It's sometimes that example is used among the conservatives in Japan, but China gives you all the things you want economically and so on, which lasts for the short term, not in the long run, but at least like instantly you can get all the good things out of China by working with them and so on. But it's like a drug, and you get addicted, and then there are side effects. I don't know the English. Like there are byproducts, like a negative byproducts, and you don't want to do that. But Japan has already been deeply tied with China economically, and it's really, really terrible. And enough to pay attention to what China says. Like we are basically obeying to China, but starting from, I would say, not even Abe, but like I didn't get the like a strong stance from Abe. Abe was the kind of leader who just showed the new strategy and framework to contain China, without using words, he's like, let's change the system around like this and that, and then, put together all the friendly nations and alliance, and we now have a lot of like free and open Indo-Pacific strategy, which is common among free nations, and also we have Quad and all that sort of stuff, right? But he wasn't verbally saying things because he had to be friendly to China at that stage, especially because he was working so hard to change the systems in our country. For example, the security bill that was passed in 2015, we had to change a lot of like our defense system. So like China was not quiet, so are the puppets of the country in Japan. So he was busy fighting them, so he couldn't verbally say things to add to that. That's what I remember. I could be wrong. I don't just remember. I just don't have the impression of Abe strongly standing against China. Like sometimes he might have said things, but just generally. But Kishida, for example, Kishida was chosen as a foreign minister of Abe. And so Abe knew Kishida was good. And Kishida, when he was in power, like the previous prime minister of the current one, so he worked with Biden and others, like until recently. But Kishida renewed he had to renew our defense documents, 3 documents, but he made it really, really good and so on. And like his cabinet people, for example, he's what's that guy? What is it called? Kambochokan. I always forget that. Like a secretary, Chief Cabinet Secretary Hayashi. Chief Cabinet Secretary is now very verbal, like, yeah. What was that? Like, it was emphasized, like, it's often emphasized in newspaper as well that we speak up now. And I really thank Prime Minister Kishida for that, like, starting from that administration, for example, like, instantly showing our support for Ukraine when Russia was invaded. Ukraine was invaded by Russia. Like Japan just changed from that administration, I feel. Of course, like Abe, prepared the foundation, but Kishida did well. So that's the impression. Sorry, I'm rambling. Shortest people are in North Korea because of the nutrition. Here it says that the guy, what was that? Chief Cabinet Secretary, was it? Chief Cabinet Secretary said on the 9th, there was press conference that regarding China, the leaders of China and Russia, meaning Xi Jinping and Putin, criticized Japan using their historical notion. So they bashed Japan. So about that, he refuted back. He criticized them back. So militaristic. What they're saying doesn't apply, basically. Probably they called us like militaristic and so on. So that's not true. Yeah, stuff like that. But that's great because we didn't hear that before. Against China, we are so weak and soft. Today, we're not. So we are at least changing. If America and European nations push us, pressure us to be more stronger against China, then we will be happy to do that. Bangladesh is so Muslim guy likely. Could be. I don't know. Apparently, I'm even short by Japanese standards. 165. You're 165. That's. Yeah. So a little taller than me. I'm kind of short too. I'm around 160, I think. Yeah, 170. That's like my husband. Koreans are shorter? No, Korean guys are so tall nowadays. I mean, not everybody, but there are like really tall Koreans now. I heard though from a celebrity here, not on the level of your celebrity, but like they're the famous, what we call geonojin, like those who are on TV, So there's this really, really famous guy, very popular, former Journey, Johnny, I don't know that English name. Like a, boys group guy, who is now in the 50s or so. But his daughter, one of his daughter is tall, and she does modeling, and also she's an actress, also internationally working and so on. Very beautiful. But like the father was sharing the story that like every night he would hear his daughter from upstairs like he would hear the sound like boom, boom, right? And it turns out that his daughter was dropping her heel of the foot, her feet, and like, and that part, like if that's like this part stimulates the hormone or something. And then so like the daughter was doing that, and she is tall. I don't know if it's true, but yeah. Anyway, anything else to talk about? So China and Russia. So there was a parade in Russia. Oh yeah, this is so crazy that Xi Jinping, oh, he wrote for a newspaper, it seems. But Xi Jinping said that we need to protect the norms of the international society, or like international relations, based on the UN Charter. But UN Charter, though, its principle is the respect of sovereignty and land, like territories, So like tolerating Russia's invasion and saying that, oh, we should follow UN Charter, it doesn't make sense. Like it contradicts. That's what the editorial says here of Yomiuri Shimbun yesterday, and that is so true. And at the same time, they bash Japan unilaterally too. In the joint statement of them, those countries, they bashed Yasukuni Shrine too. It's so crazy that like they just wanna make it seem like Japan is militaristic, but they are the one who is militaristic. Japan doesn't even own military forces officially, like we don't have the capability to actually use them as military forces, and that's why we can't do things as a normal nation. And they always flip. It's so interesting how they do it, like systematically. China especially does that all the time. Like when they are invading other countries, they said that they are the victim of Japan, like from decades ago. And when they are, polluting the air and so on, they're like, oh, Japan's contaminated water from Fukushima and so on. They are doing it, and they're just projecting that to us to flip the narrative and to attack us so that they can dodge a bullet. They keep doing that repeatedly. Anyway, anything else? Man, it's too late, I guess. Oh, good morning from Sweden. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Pakistan was a U.S. ally during the Cold War, so we gave them. Oh, America gave them nuclear armaments, if I remember right. Yeah, some country helped Pakistan, but yeah. Did you hear about Johnny Somali, who now has a maximum penalty of 31 years in Korea? Yay! No, I keep seeing like updates of Somali, but that is great job, South Korea. Yeah, South Korea has been like, regaining, like, what's the word? Sanity, at least from a Japanese perspective, because like Japan is always has been reaching out to South Korea to be friendly, like let's be friends. And they're like, oh, Japan was horrible, atrocious, blah 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 blah. Like, they bash us. They just keep bashing us. But it's been changing over the past several years, you know, because the threat of China is rising, like severely rising in East Asia. So like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, we are all like, oh man, oh man, China, So that's really great that South Korea is now more friendly to Japan. It's like we appreciate that so much. And also like I think that South Korea is like economically strong too, and they have their own unique culture now. Like with like they were so good. I think it's like during even like a park, the President Park, the daughter of the first one, she maybe not her era, but maybe a few before. I don't know when, but like they started to focus on soft power, like they started to focus on showing the difference from North Korea, and so they started exporting like K-pop and other like Korean TV shows and so on, like a lot of exports of that, and that was Japan was influenced by that too. But I think it works so magically, right? Like one of their boys group was invited to the White House, right, during Biden administration. So it's like now we know the difference between North and South Korea, like it's so clear. Nobody mistakes those countries. So that's great. And also like their culture is amazing, and I bet that people are proud of that. And so like they don't have to go like when you feel weak or vulnerable, you kind of attack others, like on an individual level. It's the same, that when you feel kind of weak and vulnerable or insecure and so on, you tend to attack, like see other things or people negatively and attack. But like when you are confident, you don't do that. Like, yeah, let's enjoy each other. So that's I feel like that's such a shift that is happening. Falling asleep? No. I hope you throw super chat in your sleep. I'm gonna hypnotize you. Oh, throw super chat. Throw super chat. Yeah, my husband is home now, and he said that not much super chat today. Yeah. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Yeah. What about it? They were developing their own fighter jet before, but I guess they didn't have enough investment, or like they had to give it up. But now we are developing a fighter jet with the UK and Italy. So, oh yeah, BTS, yes. Know your taste. I mean, I can tell, like, because I make music myself, like I can tell that like a Korean music industry, they're just making music to sell, the Western, like we can tell that, oh, they're making it to, like it's the taste of like Westerners and so on. Like they know the demand, which is a great power, because Japanese people are just minding their own business. Just making music for fun, and then some good people get a good hit and so on. But South Koreans are strategic, that at least like it looks or appear to be strategic to my eyes. Phew. We Americans these days buy a lot of cards from the company that made the zero. What are you talking about? Huh? zero. And I think that's super cool as an American. Zero? What is zero? Mitsubishi? Genius people creating something beautiful. Cool. Yeah. Japanese cars our cars are like, as for the cost performance, it's really good that you don't have to pay much, like less fuel and power, so that it can last, like you can drive so long and it's quiet and the interior is nice and so on. I can't figure out what is happening with South Korea's election either. Oh yeah, it's covered a lot in Japanese media. Like South Korea, the news about South Korea and Taiwan are largely covered here. And America, of course, is a huge ally to us and also like the most powerful country in the world. So of course, like we have a lot of coverage about the US too, but like, of course, because it's neighboring nations, South Korea or Taiwan, we get a lot of news. And yeah, I'm hearing a lot about like how conservatives are struggling in South Korea, that they had their conservative party, they had their own candidate, but now like the independent conservative guy is gonna be their candidate. Like, yeah, it's. I'm gonna wait for the outcome. Like, I don't know what's happening. South Korea can keep him, Somali. I hope so too. I wonder if he ever changed though. Like people like that, like kind of messed up in the head, you know, like attention seekers and so on. I wonder if they ever change after being imprisoned. But it would be such a weird experience to be in prison of South Korea, because he'll be surrounded by South Koreans, right? And does he even speak South Korean language? So interesting. No more super chat. It's been an hour. My mom bought a new Micra in the 80s, and it lasted for over 20 years. Cool. Somali cannot change, maybe after a long time in prison. Yeah, he is tiny and will be in a foreign prison, so mostly Chinese was. Oh, there's a foreign section? That's interesting. Oh. Prison is a interesting place because you probably get to meet a lot of other criminals there. You basically establish new ties and share lots of not wisdom because it's used in a bad way, but a lot of knowledge about how to do crimes. And yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen. Anyway, anything else to talk about? なんかあるかな、話題。なんじゃない。新聞を紹介してた。Japan is so busy with Expo too. Expo. It says that Expo, World Expo in Osaka, it's doing very well. Our media bashed the Expo so much, but now they're doing well because it's fun. It's fun and futuristic and lots of hopes for the future, So of course it's fun. Yep. Another thing is that we were discussing our policy about our family values, basically like family system. I don't know how to call this in English. Optional separate surnames for married couples. The option for married couples to retain separate surnames. That's a policy, like a possible policy that Japan has been discussing. But it's great that it's not gonna happen probably this time, so that's good. But it's so another thing though is that recently, very recently, we are talking about family registration system. We it's called koseki in Japanese, but you guys don't have that. Like the world doesn't have that, I guess. It's a Japanese thing. Like we register our family, and so you know where your family comes from and so on, like legally. You know, like the city hall and everything. They have all the data, and it's connected. Like if you get your family koseki, your registry, then it will say like, oh, your address is here and so on, and then you can get a few generations back, and then so based on that you can go like you can collect information of the your family line, you know, and it's so there. But for foreigners, you know, it's kind of annoying, you know, from foreigners' perspective, because like we will know that, for example, like Asians look the same, Chinese, Koreans, like with the first glance, like you can't tell, you know. I can sometimes tell, but not all the time, you know. We all just look Asian. So sometimes like Chinese or Korean people, they can pretend to be Japanese, but if you look at the registry, we can instantly tell that, oh, this person's parents are from another country and so on. So it's an important thing, you know, like security wise and all the other things. But there are leftists want to destroy that system, so that I guess it's good. They want to make Japan friendly to foreigners in general, and you know, basically destroy the family values. So whether it's about the surnames or this koseki, the family registry, they just want to destroy the family values and system to make the foundation for, in my opinion, I think they are wanting to make the foundation for communism or socialism. To, in a way, it becomes equal, like everyone becomes equal, and they can control those people better. State has the power, that sort of things. So, and don't give to Gaijin. Yeah. Rather, I think that it's important that other countries should make that. This famous guy in Japan, posted recently, though, the world is abandoning that system, and South Korea discarded that system like a decade or 2 decades ago, and he was using South Korea as a reference. But Japan has been doing that for a long time. So, yeah. Koncha, koncha. I hear music from the self-defense forces base. Like, self-defense forces, they always play music, of course, in a orchestra way, you know, like the real music. So it's always fun. How can it be started here? Register. Template. Oh, by the way, this is my pajama pants. I'm so gray, you know. My tops are gray. I'm wearing a pajama pants. Anyway. Yeah. But just like, you know, writing a family tree, but with more information, I would say. And it has to be legally backed as well. Yeah. In order to, you know, prove that you are this person, like me, Yoko Ishii. Like, in order to prove that I'm Yoko Ishii, I have to often, like, when I have to apply for some, like, a legal things here in Japan, or apply for some kind of, what's the word, like a national things or something, you know, like really official things, I have to get that koseki, that registry. And we have a so-called hanko, like a stamp, which is registered also, and like a bank system too. Like, it's, in order to show that you are this person, you need a lot of documents, you know. So, but leftists don't like that. And also nowadays they are using digitalization as their excuse, like, oh, it's everything can be stored digitally and so on. And so they want to just abandon everything that we actually have. And I'm like, I don't see the reason why we need to abandon, you know. They talk about taxation and so on, but if the economy is good, then we can actually afford to do anything we want to, right? So instead of talking about like boosting our economy, they talk about, oh, cut all these things that we have. It's the way that they think is like, they're just thinking inside the box, but I am the kind of person who think outside the box, you know. Like, I like to think about premises, like how to change the premises for the better, you know. Like, we can always create a new rule and order and so on, or framework. And Trump is similar, you know. Like, there are many different evaluation towards Trump, but one thing that's great about Trump is, in my opinion, is that he is courageous enough to, like, he has this bold attitude to change the world order. Of course, there are people that don't want the world order to change and so on, but he sees the limits of America, and while he fixes America, he wants to reframe the world, and at least I see the effort. So, like, that sort of leaders are leaders, actual leaders. But in Japan, what I see is that those who just think from the option that we have right now, instead of trying to change the whole system and so on for the better. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to think in the same way, but I'm just rambling. Sorry for that. Zero in Japan is Tiger, a legendary war machine that earned its reputation. Tiger? Yoko, did you hear that the news of a Korean tourist taking bad pictures of two Japanese women in Japan? Ooh. Korean tourists. Like Chinese in Japan, you all should keep an eye on the Koreans too, I guess. Huh. So Korean tourists, what do you mean taking bad pictures? I don't know. There are bad Japanese people too, by the way. Recently, what happened was that, you know, like, there are like really annoying streamers, you know, like Western, like this dude that I saw. I don't know where he is from recently. Like, this foreign streamer in Japan had this like a carry on, with like a massive speaker, and he was playing music really loud, and it became kind of controversy in Japan. And like just the other day, we saw a similar case, but this time a female, like dyed hair and but Asian, and she not the pretty type by our standard. That's the feedback that I saw on X. But so people were annoyed at her because she was doing the same thing, like copying the guy with the carry-on speaker, really loud music on the train and the train platform. So basically copying the streamer. And everyone was on X was like ugly Chinese and so on. But she turned out to be Japanese. I don't know. Maybe she's naturalized, or maybe she's just born to be Japanese. Natural might be natural Japanese, just annoying. So we have that sort of type of people too. Just saying. Anyway, no more super chats. If so, I gotta go. I need a new yoga mat. I know it's random, but I have had a yoga mat for since 2018 or so. It's so old now that it's not used, like getting really old, and I can't really use it. So I need a new one. I need to go buy. We just have ID cards with and birth certificates. I understand the Japanese, but is it much bureaucracy? No, it's just making sure, because there are lots of people that want to do frauds. The reason why Japan's crime rate is low is because we have really strict rules and strict systems. And we don't care about the procedures. Like many people complain though, but like we do understand why it's needed. Because other like criminal-minded people can hijack the system, and use it for their really bad ambitions. And so that's a sacrifice that we take. I think it's important. It's so interesting that there are people that complain about marriage system as well. Like when we were discussing about the separate surnames, some women don't like to change their names. It's so silly, because I really wanted to change my name. I loved my original name like so much. I was so proud. But at the same time, I wanted to be the same as my husband, right? Like it's so beautiful to be one. Even on a name level, I wanted to be the same, and that's beautiful. But some other people are like, oh, marriage, man. They're like, oh, applying for this and that, like changing the name in the bank account and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's so annoying. It takes time. I can't do it. Blah. I'm like, don't get married then, Like, love is so strong that you can overcome anything, right? Like, anything becomes fun. Like, oh, I'm getting married, and that's why I have to change this name here and there. Oh, that's because I'm getting married, right? That's a fun thing. But other people, there are many people that are like, oh, I have to do this? Like, seriously? I don't get their mentality. Like, they probably do not love the person that they're marrying if they find it troublesome, right? Like, it should be exciting, and they're complaining. I want to slap them. Sorry, no. I shouldn't promote violence, but yeah. Your name is Random Yoko, so random is okay. Yeah. Yep. Germany still have a big weapons industry for export. Cool. Anyway, when you get a PO box, you will have 1 cent. Yeah, I need to. It probably costs money, but yeah. there were some conditions. I wonder. I think I look it up and I thought I can't have it. I'm gonna look it up again. Anyway, I guess today's the kind of day that I can't make money. Thank you though for those who gave me super chat, but I guess oh, my husband and I were talking about, like I need more income, to live, right? And to do political activities. Like if I have more money, I can go to Tokyo more often and expand my activities and so on. So maybe I should live stream twice a week. Like so this is a time range. Like this is today I was so late, but it's supposed to be like Saturday night, earlier night for Americans. But so that's like for me that's like around noon or so. But we were saying like, oh, I should maybe go online at night here in Japan in the middle of the week, so that it will be in the morning of America to see how many people come and what kind of people come and so on. So I might try that soon. You should look from which time zone most super chats come from. It's from America, definitely. Yeah, but it's them though. It's Americans who said that like nighttime would be good for them. So like for me it's easy to do it at night, like late at night. Like I'm a night owl. Like I can stay up and so on. But American people said that they want to, do it all for them. It should be night and so on. And they picked Saturday too. So yeah, I know they have several time zones, but last week there were lots of people from Arizona. I don't know what it was about, but yeah. But that's why I can't come early. It's so hard for me to wake up early. I mean, I can, but I don't know. I need to be more I should be more professional, I guess. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, it's so late and it's getting late here too. So I should let you guys go. You are from Arizona. See? Like, I don't know why it is, but there are lots of people from Arizona. Interesting. Yeah. A little time is also good for Europeans. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But daytime? Yeah. I should test it. It would be fun to live stream every day for a week or something to see, just to test where people gather the most and so on. It'd be fun. Yeah, I like project stuff. Anyway, I can ramble forever, but I should let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for those who gave me super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So next week I might not be able to come though, but we will see. I will notify you on X. So follow me on X and also subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so that you won't miss it. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, bye bye. Good night.